Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a last-ditch effort at trying to be prepared for recurrent simulation coming up here next week. I thought this one would be a good one to stream. I've been kind of just chilling out at the office doing some studying, and I remember we had a pretty extensive MEL scenario last year. And last year we did the ground spoiler in-op. I don't know if y'all remember that one. We have no ground spoilers. There's also a scenario with a landing gear brake MEL, which we're going to tackle today. It's a short flight, Boston down to LaGuardia. We'll do a couple different things en route here, and then hopefully, since it'll be a quick flight, after that we'll reset the sim. We'll load up in Seattle, zero viz, and we'll do a V1 cut. I did one earlier to record it, just to kind of see. I was going to make a video of it, and it took me about 12 minutes to go from takeoff, engine failure, and back on the ground. So we're going to try to do that one more time here at the end of this stream after we land LaGuardia. So that's what we got. Rocking and a rolling. Hope you guys are ready for this one. Fubar's in the house. What's up, man? Good to see it. Was spicy yesterday. Al W's in the house. What's up, man? Lucas is here. What's up, man? ART 340 CRTs. What's going on with it? Any builds A340? Man, I know everyone's all jacked about it. I'm just depressed that there's no L1011. McAllen, what's up? Good to see you, man. Paxman's in the house. Eastern T3, virtually not pop. What's up? Dougal McTavish. Good to see you, my friend. You beat your last time of 15 minutes. Yeah, Aaron. Well, I wasn't streaming, so I was able to do things a little bit faster. But, yeah, thank you, man. Michael Bonaga dropping the 20 gifted subs. My goodness me. Spreading the love early here at the gate in Boston. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate that 20 gifted sub bomb. Very, very kind of you, sir. Appreciate the support. If you pick up a membership from Michael, make sure you shout him out and say thank you. That's much, much too kind. Thank you so much for the support. And the reason Phoenix liveries can't be verified, in 2024, you need to do the new livery stuff, man. It's all from the Phoenix app, and they have to be 2024 specific liveries with the new update with the BFU. So, with that said, I have it on custom weather. I've got lower ceilings, about 1,000 feet, broken, overcast, and rain. That's what we're dealing with here in the simulator. And actually, I got to do one more thing here. Hold on. Let me launch one other thing, and then we're going to go live. So we're sitting on the ground in Boston, default Boston, because I don't think there's a 2024 version yet. Stop Ecamm, Batman. Yes, stop Ecamm. Stop Ecamm. Tyson, are the lakes closed in Texas? Man, I wish, dude. I don't remember last time I took my boat out. It's been a couple weeks, dude. I've just been so busy, and then got not feeling well, and then time to go to recurrence. So here we are. We got our sloshy footsteps as we walk around in the rain, but we won't do a full walk around here. But one of the new memory things we have to have is cargo door wind speeds. So for all of you who care, and I don't know why we have to have this memorized, cargo door wind speed limitation is 65 knots. Oh, I'm sorry, passenger door is 65 knots. Cargo door 40 knot winds, 50 if the aircraft is adjacent to the direction of the wind, and above 65 knots all doors must be closed for the cargo door. But so we'll just do a little walk around here. Cargo doors are closed right now. It's not that windy. AC, thanks for the $5 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Good luck on your trip to Schoolhouse. Love the content. Hey, man, thank you for the support and for the $5 super chat, AC. Very, very kind. Appreciate you, my friend. Very, very kind. Thank you. Hopefully we'll blast through this stream. It'll be a good one, and we'll be ready to go. So I guess I'll just pull chalk. Man, no, I'm not going to pull chalk because there's like 74 chalks to pull. Everything looks good under here. Doors are all closed up. Would you open the doors at 50 knots? No. I mean, that's why I'm like, why do we have to have this memorized? It's not like I'm going to come out here and close the doors up by myself, you know? So, all right. Everything's completed. I kind of want to pull a Mr. Saturday and come up the aft stairs here. So let's do that. Let's do that here. Let's come up the aft stairs. Let's go ahead and push the lever in. You flip that all the way up. Slide the door open. Look at the rain on the little peephole there. That's awesome. And you know what's crazy is they even have a little... This is the gust lock right here. So you'd push that down, and then you'd be able to open the door. Look at the gust lock. It's actually animated. That's unbelievable. A gust lock animation there. All right, we walked onto the aircraft. Let's go ahead and head all the way to the front. It looks like it's on the ground service bus, if I'm not mistaken right now. I thought I had Flight Tampa. I do have Flight Tampa in 2020. I don't know if it works in 24, though. It's compatible officially. Oh, it's all right. I mean, this is not about scenery on this stream. Ground service bus right here. It is actually modeled. It's on. It would actually flip off if we connect the ground power. So here we are. Welcome to the cockpit. We check for our, all of our documents and everything like that. We'll come in here. We'll make sure that we have our stuff in the secret compartment. We got the rain repellent up there. We'll check the PBE, which would be here. It's a portable oxygen hood. We'd make sure our landing gear pins are stowed. We would take the backs of the seats off and check for the life vest, make sure they were all there as well. All right, now that we're seated, let's go ahead and get the aircraft powered up. 25.6 volts required. Let's go ahead and 1, then 2. And let's go ahead and do that. Boom. We'll get this fired up here. Sounds are firing up. Aircraft's coming to life. Wonderful. I'll do this. I'll move the forward stairs. Can we bring a jetway over? Let's do that. Let's bring a jetway over. And let's go to weight and balance. And let's go, actually, my flight, import from SimBrief. Dismiss, weight and balance. Let's go ahead and begin loading. It's going to take 26 minutes. We'll start real time because we've got a lot to do. So we'll do a real time loading. We'll just get them started up right now. All right. Everything's booting up here. We'll give it a second. We have multiple MELs we have to look over. Engine 1 should be off as well. I've in-opt engine generator 1. So we're going to let the aircraft boot up. Alright. Yesterday I did Cancun to Orlando in the Fenix, and it let me go all the way to Florida with the fuel pumps off. Is that possible? Yeah, it sure is, man. Gravity feeding. Gravity feeding. Do you often open the doors with 50 knots? No, I did that. I already answered that one. Is there a door pin, too? There. Oh, modeled? I actually don't think there is. They got the levers, though. Reality says, buddy, you haven't responded. FS Labs better system. No, it's not at all, dude. I've proven it over and over with multiple flights. The FS Labs people started getting really upset at me because I was pointing out inaccuracies with their logics. So I'm not saying it can't get better. I just think they have some gremlins going on in their logics right now. Just basic Airbus stuff is what's not being simulated correctly. So by no stretch of the imagination does the labs do anything better than the Fenix other than brake temperature, a rate of accumulated temperature, and there was one other thing it did. Oh yeah, it won't fail the battery test on the first startup. That's it. All right. Looks like everything's come to life. Let's go ahead and get the crew supply on. We got a dome light on here. It's going to get dark. Yeah. Ooh. Get the integral lights all the way up. All right. Ground control push button CVR test. There she is. Captain Purrs, Captain. We'll get our ADIRs into alignment 1, 2, and 3. Actually, you know what? Man, I should just simulate the whole flow, right? All right, landing gear lever is down. These are off, normal. Radar PWS is off. Flaps are up. Spoiler is up. We did our battery. Boom, boom, boom. That looks good. Then we'll come up here. We'll get the, we're going up this panel. We did 1, 2, 3. Strobe is going into auto. Nav 1 off, auto. Arm the emergency exit lights. No white lights. That looks good. Let's go ahead and show the electrical test right now. We'll go electrical page. We'll disconnect battery 1, battery 2. We'll reconnect battery 1, reconnect battery 2. Let's see, we've got 47 amps. Needs to be decreasing within 10 seconds. It's not, so we'll have to come back and check on that later. And I'll show you what a successful one looks like here before we push. Generator 1 is off. That have an MEL sticker right next to it. We got a Gen 1 inoperative. Fire test. Fire test. And APU. Alright, up the right hand side, everything looks good. That PA is out and on. Data ACP3. Wonderful. I'm just going to set this up. Do constraints. Do that. HG. Alright, we got brake system 1 fault. We're going to talk about that. In-op, autopilot, auto thrust, that's associated. Brake system 1 fault. That's per our MEL. Clear status. Engine page, we got 19.5. We're in the IE V2500. So we need 11.5 quarts plus a half an hour per for burn for the duration of flight. We got plenty of engine oil, hydraulics. Everything is in the green. Pressurization is in auto. Landing is 0. Checks out. Cool. Go outside. FO probably do the walk around. Let's go ahead and get everything FMGC. Let's get this initialized. We'll go ahead and pull our flight plan requests, and let's get the integral lights all the way up here. Main panel floodlight. That looks good. All right. Turn up these. Turn up these. That's a little bit much on that flood. How about dim up top? There we go. That looks better. All right. Let's get our flight plan going. We're going to do all the normal stuff first, and then we're going to go ahead and go walk through the MELs, and I'll have them where you can follow along. So we're going to be Bourbon 357, cost index of 55. We filed 16. We're actually going to go 240. Ground temp is 5 degrees. IRS init, that's going to do its thing. We'll let it do the full init. Boston, for our flight today, we're planning on departing runway 9er. Boston departure runway 9er, and we are on the what are we on? We are on the SOCs. No, PAT 7. PAT 7 for the HARP 4 for 4. PAT 7. Insert that. LaGuardia arrival ILS 4 on the HARP, and I believe the transition is going to be a Valerie, which is the start of the HARP, and approach via we'll do no via for right now. We'll have to double check that. Alright, let's insert that. Secondary initialize Boston to Boston. Boston to Boston, and coming right back around Boston, we're going to land on a longer runway than 04. So let's take out our nav charts. Semper Fi, the Marines have landed and the situation is well at hand. Fly USMC, my man, what's going on, dude? How you been? It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Welcome in. Welcome in, sir. Will you do an APU fire test with the APU on? The real bus won't shut it down. It will not shut it down, correct. Now, if you, I believe there's a stipulation if you hold it or if you do it from outside. I think if you do the, no, if you do the if you do the test from the maintenance panel, it'll shut down the APU. All right, Boston LaGuardia, and let's just look at the taxi charts here real quick. So 10-9 Boston. If we're going to blast them off 9, let's come back to 4 right if we have a problem. So ILS 4 right, secondary perf, approaches, ILS 4 right, Barrow is 218. Barrow is 218, winds are 270 at 10 right now. Temperature is 5. And altimeter is 29901. 29901 set. Secondary rad nav page progress. We'll put Boston in here. Perf init B. We are 12.5 on the fuel. That's all she's got. So let's go 12.5. Block fuel, an alternate of Newark as well. Oh, it has Philly in there? Okay, disregard. Boston LaGuardia, init B 12.5, on board and balanced. All right, we'll stand by on the APU. Okay, so while we got that aligning and we're doing all that stuff, we have a couple of additional MELs we need to look at. We'll simulate getting clearance. They give us a climb 240, so 24 is set in the FCU. Let me show you what we're dealing with here. So the first MEL we're going to tackle is this one right here. And I got to pull up mine. We're going to brief this thoroughly. Okay, so this is green brakes, right? Brake. I can't, well, I don't know why. Where the heck is mine now? Let me just pull up the image, because for some reason I can't see mine. I don't remember what it was called. All right, green braking system inoperative. That's 3442022. Let me look that up here on my iPad. So 3402, no, 344202-2. Oh, 3242. Green braking system. All right, so what we're dealing with here, if we take a look at this, we've got an operational restriction. We've got an MEL 229901-3. That's a downgrade MEL. So you'd have a placard in here, say aircraft downgraded from Cat 3. We're going to be Cat 2 most likely, or Cat 1 depending on the downgrade. Dispatch concurrence. That's the purple bar. We have one installed, one is required. Repair interval C, that's how long it takes for them to keep this inoperative. So let's look at the remarks and exceptions. Braking on one wheel may be inoperative provided by runway width is 148 feet, 45 meters. The green hydraulic supply to effective brake is deactivated. Anti-skid system operates normally. Nose wheel steering operates normally. Both reversers operate normally. Wheel tachometers are operative, and AFM performance penalties are applied. We'd have a placard adjacent to the ECAM, Cat 2, Cat 3. We're going to be actually a Cat 3 single downgrade. The ops procedure for the green braking system, one or both thrust reversers may not deploy at landing. Consequently, for performance determination, do not take into account the credit for thrust reversers, so we won't do that. Flight preparation. Maximum landing capability is Cat 3 single. In case of engine failure at takeoff, retract landing gear when positive climb. Vibrations may be present during 1 or 2 minutes after the gear retraction because it won't be able to slow down. If we go to the second page of the MEL, I cut it off a little bit for you there, but I'll read it to you. If both engines are operative, which they hopefully will be, we must leave the landing gear down for 1 minute. So I put an in-op placard on my landing gear lever in the sim over here so I don't accidentally put the gear up. We need to leave it down for 1 minute. Real world, I'd put a piece of paper over here on the landing gear lever as well. Dispatch will predetermine takeoff and landing perf data by using aero data. Flight crew should assist the MEL using the FlySmart landing performance, brakes configuration 1 in-op. A couple other performance penalties here. Takeoff thrust must be performed with full thrust if aero data is used to obtain takeoff performance. Takeoff is prohibited on a contaminated runway. For cinematic purposes, it's raining right now. Technically, if we had standing water, we'd consider this contaminated. Wouldn't be able to do it. Ensure ACARS ASC takeoff says one brake deactivated. Landing performance, ensure brakes config 1 in-op, which we'll look at, and we'll double check that. Minimum runway width, 148 feet. We have a takeoff penalty and a landing penalty. We must leave the gear down for 1 minute. Okay. So, kind of a lot to digest there. We're going to run the landing data for both of those. We're going to leave the gear down before we depart, or after we depart, so the wheels can slow down before we go on our way. Now, what are some things we need to consider here with the landing gear lever down after takeoff? Well, if we look at our SID, let's go ahead and pull out our departure procedure on the PAT 7. We know we're going to have the gear down. What do you think having the gear down is going to do off runway 9 for our climb performance? It's going to be pretty inhibitive. So we'd have to make sure that we could do it. Again, that's where all the performance calculations and stuff come into. Now, if you can't do it, if you can't make a restriction somewhere on the SID, you could always advise ATC, hey, because of an operational restriction, we're not going to be able to make claw at or above 4,000, and then they would hopefully accommodate you, right? And then you'd be able to be relieved from that restriction. Now, if there's terrain out there, that'd also be another consideration. But as of right now, we're going out over the water, claw at or above 4,000, relatively light. I don't think it's going to be an issue. We'll take a look at it after takeoff. If for some reason it becomes an issue, we'll deal with it and notify ATC. For the PAT 7 RNAV departure, top altitude is 5,000. We're cleared at 240. 240 was set. Got a max speed 250. Shouldn't be a problem. We're going all the way out to PATS. No other special restrictions. 15 right. We're not on 15 right, so it does not apply. Cool. So takeoff briefing is complete. We're going to taxi out runway 09. I'm not a fan of briefing taxi routes. I think it's a good way to set yourself up for confirmation bias. But we're somewhere over here. I think we're right here off this pier. And we're going to plan taxi 9. It's going to be probably Charlie crossing the runway no matter what, we're probably crossing the runway, so we'll make sure we keep our eyes up. Don't cross the wrong runway. All right. So that's considered briefed. Now, we also have another MEL. We've got generator 1 inoperative. We'll talk about that here in a minute. We are about halfway through boarding. Let's go ahead and get the APU fired up. And then we will talk about our second MEL with the generator 1 inoperative. So the APU is coming up. 240 is set. GPS is primary. Things are coming to life, Jet. Things are coming to life. Could you technically tap the brakes? No, because green system 1. So it's not you're not going to be able to stop that main brake. Now I'm going to run a landing perf data here real quick. I want to make sure we can actually stop in LaGuardia. We're up and running. Let's go ahead and start the chrono. I'm going to take a look at our TLR performance, which we don't really have here, but our estimated landing weight is going to be 141. So I'm going to run a landing 141 calculation. All right, equal to, boom, boom. Approach type normal. Next. Brake mode, manual, reversers, no. MEL, I gotta add, brakes configuration, 1 brake inoperative, compute. Alright, so I'm running a real world landing computation here just ahead of time to see what we could do in LaGuardia on runway 4. And then I'm gonna see what the Fenix app says. I don't have the full route, man. I've got a multiplayer off and no ATC on this one. Alright, so we have an 842-foot stop margin in LaGuardia with 1 main wheel brake, landing at 141,000 pounds, runway condition 5, with max manual brakes. Alright, so perf data says we can do it. That all checks out. Let's go ahead and look at our generator MEL next. So the generator MEL, which I didn't post for you, but it's a doozy. It's got a bunch of reds. It's got red, orange, yellow, blue, purple, and dark blue. So basically, we're going to be dispatching with generator 1 inoperative. All right, except for ETOPS, one may be inoperative provided the APU generator operates normally and is used throughout the flight. Operator ensures that APU oil quantity is adequate for the intended flight. So each leg, maintenance has to come out to the aircraft and they have to do a maintenance check of the APU, make sure that it has adequate oil. We've got to verify all buses can be powered. All indications, warnings associated with the remaining engine and APU-driven generator operate normally. Galley automatic shedding is verified to operator. Aircraft remains at or below 330. Fuel recirculation system associated with the operative ITG is operative. Approach minimums are downgraded Cat 3 single. If the associated ITG is disconnected, does not apply. And number 10 does not apply. We'd also have another MEL sticker up top. All right. Ops procedures. On ground, we'd have to check the if we have a main galley. Do we have main galley installed on this? We don't. We have commercial galley cab auto. Galley and cabin check auto. It is. Full circuit breaker. Let's try this. At or below 330 for running the single generator TV flight. Yeah. Running both generators. Or yeah, single gen at or below 330. Alright. Full circuit breaker 122 VU on S24. Can we pull a circuit breaker S24? Let's take a look at this. We're still boarding, so let's go electrical page. And S24. Okay, we can't pull it. We would pull that one, S24, and then we would verify that the secondary galleys operate and forward and aft galleys. Push it back in. Disregard if main galleys are not connected. All right. Before engine start, if the IDG is disconnected, it does not apply. After start, we have a bunch of stuff to do. So, after start, we'll take a look at some more of that stuff. But let's go ahead and get the AOC message. We got a prelim here. I'm assuming preliminary. We'll accept that. That looks good. Let's go to perf takeoff. And let's go ahead to Boston runway 9er. It is wet. Sync the prelim. Temperature sync. Well, we'll sync the live. That's fine. And calculate that for now. We'll wait for the final load sheet. There's 4 minutes. Let's go ahead and get the APU bleed on. External power is disconnected. Go back to the ground services. And let's start pulling stuff. We'll go ahead and pull the aft stairs, the cones, and the GPU. We still got the boarding doors open as we are approaching fully loaded. Just another 30 people or so to go. All right. With that all said and done, we'll reset the chrono. 240 is set. Waiting on our final weights to come through. I guess we can do an actual departure briefing. Are you using the new FCU display rendering? It should be setting someone to make displays more realistic. No, I'm actually not. I forgot to turn it on, and it requires a restart. So, I'm not going to turn it on. Yeah, I haven't turned it on yet. Well, I turned it on once, and then I realized that I needed to restart. Gale Force, what's up, man? Yeah, this is the Flight Sim Project side stick. This is the Flight Sim Project side stick, and it's on the Moza AB9 base. Yeah. Do you also pilot small aircraft in Microsoft? Cadet Harrison, yes, I do. I love flying GA stuff, man. Except I'm getting ready to go to the sim, so on Monday I have recurrent training. I'll be in recurrent training all week, so I've been doing a lot of stuff in the Fenix right now. Magic Barrel Ref is set. It's not 3021. I have it on custom weather, man. Custom weather. What do IRL pilots use to calculate takeoff speeds and flex temps? So Nick and Nate, so what happens is, real world, at least the way my operator does it, it's through the ACAR. So we'd come in here, we'd do ATSU. Actually, I wouldn't even be in the ATSU. It'd be in the McDo perf weight and balance tab, I believe. ATSU perf weight and balance. And then we fill in the load sheet. So it would ask you, okay, so how many passengers do you have, jump seaters, fill out the zones, right? And then we have the cargo load sheet that comes up, and we'd fill in the cargo bays with what the ground crew gave us. We send that off. You literally just hit send down here. It sends it off to Aerodata. Aerodata will then crunch the numbers, and then it comes back, and we get a perf uplink ready. And then we come over here to the perf page, and we go uplink takeoff data, and then it populates this with the takeoff data, and it defaults to Toga, so you have to select flex, changes the numbers, insert, and then our speeds are uplinked. So we don't actually manually import these speeds unless there's some type of communication error, ATSU malfunction, which ironically I had to do in Cancun just on my last trip. We couldn't get our numbers back from the ATSU, so we ended up using the TLR, which is the takeoff landing report. You take the next weight higher than what you're at, so you're more conservative, you round up, and then you can put those numbers in here manually. But that's a pretty rare occurrence for us. Like I said, normally it's all sent off, it's done automatically, sent back, and uploaded. For landing, we calculated in the EFB similar to how the Fenix has it right here. And we'll go over this when we get there. Matter of fact, we can do, we need braking system, anti-skid, auto brake fault. We need that one checked. And we also need hydraulic system. No, I don't think it's hydraulics. I think it's just auto brake fault one, and we'd have an additional MEL that we would load in here for brake system 1. I thought I found it the other day. Do you guys remember when we were dealing with that? I saw it in here. Where is it? One spoiler. I know it's in here. I saw it. Engine system, no. I swear I saw it. Interesting. Matthew Press, what's up, man? We have a set of hamsters that power a room full of 1,000 monkeys that enter the information in a 1970s computer, then spits it out, the results that get sent to us. I know, that's why you're always waiting for numbers. At least, I haven't heard that in a while, but I remember y'all would always be like, hey, we can't take off. Yeah, we're waiting for numbers. We're waiting for numbers. All right, 10 more peeps to go. Let's do a quick little departure briefing. Got any threats? It's dark outside. That's not really a threat. Wet runways. No standing water, so it's not considered contaminated, but it is wet. All right, so we also have our MEO with the landing gear. That's also a big threat. And we also have to do our generator test after pushback. So we'll get all that stuff. Those are some abnormals for our briefing. We're going up to flight level 240. We're on the Path 7 departure. Emergencies after V1. As previously briefed, or per our SOP. We'll take it out 1,000 feet acceleration altitude, speed up, clean up. We'll come back around. We're going to land runway 4 right. That is the longer runway. Fall goes as well. Like I said, 240. We're squawking 2,000. Any questions? No questions. All right, let's do a cockpit preparation checklist. Maintenance log and tail number on board and check. Gear pins and covers removed. Seatbelts are on. ADIRS, nav, and fuel. We need 11.5, required 12.5 on board. Altimeters 29091 is set and EFB is checked. Cockpit preparation checklist is complete. So we're just waiting for our final numbers and we'll blast off out of here. I'm going to turn off the cabin lights. And somebody asked about the FCU. Yes, GL Force, this is the Fenix A320, correct. So sim settings, where is it at? Is it under airframe? No. Controls, FCU, legacy, or new? So new kind of makes it fuzzy for me. I'm just going to stick with legacy right now. I think you have to restart. That's where you would change it. And actually, I'm going to go to units. Let's just make it pressures in inches and cabin. I want those lights at like 25. Actually, let's just turn them off. Cool. All right. Are we done yet? 2 more people. 2 more people, and then we're out of here. Chat, Nabil, what's up, my man? How you doing, dude? Look at Hotel de Adobo, Boston, over there. Wrong side sim in the house. How you doing, man? And when you can't get ACARS reception, you got to call your dispatcher, so we do a radio closeout, but we are cussing you for bothering us from our Netflix and pizza. Wrong side, dude. I love the Teams messaging, though. I've done the last couple times. I've done it through Teams. Just connect to the dispatcher. I have a note saved on my EFB. So what I do is I just copy and paste the note, and then I fill in the applicable data. It looks like wrong side's on the jump. 176 plus 5. Wrong side's in the jump. We'll go ahead and close you up. That's ready to go. Aircraft is boarded. We'll close up the shop. We'll disconnect the jetway. Beacon's coming on. Let's get ready to go. Let's connect the tug. Packs off for takeoff? You could if performance required it, but not for us today. But yeah, man, the Teams messaging is game-changing. Cockpit to ground, how you doing up there? Ground to cockpit, we're good, how are you? All right, are you ready for brake release? Affirm. Brakes are released, you're clear to push. Just give us, I don't know, something straight back-ish. I bought a thermal printer so it prints from the Fenix just like the real Airbus. Now, Drew, that is awesome. I actually bought one of those as well. I just don't know where it is. After moving 3 times, I've lost where my thermal printer is. Yeah, I think I lost the printer or the paper it required. Either way. But yeah, it's awesome, man. I was printing stuff out in the Leonardo when that was doing its thing. All right, since it's slick out here, we're just going to hold the start. We're going to wait till everything is pushback's complete. Does the EFB setting stay for the next time you turn the Soren on? The Soren on? I'm not sure. I never understand the EFB settings save. I feel like I have to change them every time. I don't know if they don't save or if I'm not doing it right or if it's livery dependent. I'm not sure. Windshield wipers are moving rain. That's pretty goated. But real world, I'll just turn it off right now. Don't need to see where I'm going just yet. Cockpit to ground push complete. Set brakes. Brakes are set. You're clear to disconnect. Show me the pin out front. We're going to start them up 1 then 2. So we got a problem here, chat. You see accumulator pressure is low. Let's go ahead and juice up the yellow pump. We want to see that get into the green here. All right, accumulator pressure is in the green. Let's go ahead and start them up. We'll go to full screen cam. Engine mode to ignition start. Turning engine 1. Here we go. Oh, shoot. I never sent the final weights. Here we go. Flappy, what's up, man? Good to see you. Oh, Matthew, you don't use Teams? Man, yeah, dude, it's so much faster than our 8 cars and calling. And the rain's coming down thick now. This is just like the sim. Why is our door open? Chat. Why is our door open? I was wondering why it sounded like a door was open. Because the dang door was open. Alright, start 2. Here we go. What's that? What? Wow, we got to start lever not at idle. Cool. I guess it wasn't at idle. Carol says, wet ground prepared taxi at 60% N1 because of reasons. Oh no, really? Rip. I hope you considered maximum door speed before closing at 65 knots. Landing perf done by personally. No, it's not a person. It's a company issued EFB. Company issued EFB. Don't put any personal stuff on there. Some guys do. It's just a recipe for problems. I have a company EFB that's strictly a company's business. And then we have landing performance data on there. Just some more Microsoft memes. Great. Well, if we need to, we can clear the rain out too. Alright, that's coming back there. We're going to go here. Electric Gen 1 off, that's associated. Clear electric, status. Stop ECAM. Let's do an after start checklist. That's there, that's armed. We're doing flaps. We never actually calculated that, did we? Now let's send our perf takeoff. We got talking about all this stuff, we never actually calculated it. We'll do it. We're going to do a Toga to help mitigate some climb issues, right? All right, we'll send these to the McDo. 23, 37, 39 flaps, 1 Toga set. 23, 37, 39 flaps, 1 Toga set. Flaps. Okay. Continue ECAM. Alright, Gen 1 and brake system 1. Those are associated. Clear status, clear status. Alright, now we've got some things to do. We're not done yet. So we have a generator offline. So ops procedure. After engine starting, we're going to pull up the electrical page. Generator 1, generator 2 off. And check that the APU gen picks up the load. So generator 1 off, generator 2 off. We have a bus transfer. APU generators picked up the load. Check on ECAM electric page that all AC buses are equipped. Gen 2 off associated. Clear electric. And back to the electrical page. Okay. Generator operative, back on. Generator 2, back on. Alright, with generator 2, APU generator off. So now the APU gen button that's always hidden is up here. APU generator off. With APU gen off, we've got gen 2 has picked up the load. Check on ECAM electric page that all AC buses are supplied. They are. APU generator back on. APU generator back on. Alright, if necessary, IDG may be disconnected, does not apply. Confirm fuel planning is based on APU used. We're going up to flight level 250 is highest one, 200. We've got pounds per hour, 139. Extra 139 pounds really for an hour flight, that checks. For takeoff, A321 only, that does not apply. During the flight, if IDG associated with inoperative AC, that does not apply. Dispatch procedure, Cat 3 single, below 330, APU burn calculated for entire flight, verified with the associated chart. Fuel is added to the flight plan, automatically increases the trip fuel. All right, procedures complete. We're ready to go. So just a reminder, we're leaving the gear down after takeoff. So it's wet and stormy out, so let's do all of our stuff here. Auto brakes, max, but they should not be used. So we'll leave the auto brakes off. Takeoff config check, per MEL, auto brakes not used. Off auto, TARA. Flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. First officer will check theirs. Alright. After start checklist is complete. All of our stuff is done. APU bleed is coming offline. We're going to go ahead and dim this a little bit more here. Alright. Are we ready? Are you ready? I'm ready. Ground, Bourbon 357 taxi. Bourbon 357 taxi, runway 9er. Via the route the instructor is going to give you because he wants to see if you're going to cross the runway without holding short. So, I'll show you what that route is. Charlie, hold short, 4 left. Whoa! Looks like it's snowing. Alright, Carol, let's see. Are we going to be stuck in the ground here? Doesn't seem too bad. Brake check. Pressure 0. Alright, mini brief. Mini brief, we're going to be departing runway 09, path 7 departure. Gross weight is 146.2, flaps config 1 plus F. Fuel on board is 12.3, speeds 123, 139. 240 is set. Standard transition, first fix off the ground, RNAV claw. No questions. Holding short 4 left. Bourbon 357, cross runway 4 left, taxi 9er via Mike, via Charlie, Mike. Charlie, Mike, crossing 4 left. Bourbon 357, so I'll turn those on. Let's go. Clear right. Clear left. Captain, I think the runway might be contaminated now. You might be right, but for sim purposes. How often you find these issues? Every recurrent. Alright, we'll make the right turn here. No, this is not live. I have this set up for sim purposes. Probably be facing something similar in the recurrent sim. These are IAEs. Isha Sharma, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Alright, stay on mic, hold short of runway 09. Taxi checklist. Alright, gross weight comparison is complete. Pitch trim is 31% CG set. V1, VR, V2 flex. 123, 137, 138 Toga set. Flaps, config 1 plus F. Flight controls, check. ECAM memo, takeoff, auto brakes, blue. ECAM status, checked, associated. Taxi checklist is complete. Alright, holding short of 09. Bourbon 357 runway 09. RNAV claw, clear for takeoff. RNAV claw, 09, clear for takeoff. Bourbon 357. Alright, reminder, gear. Gear must stay down. For 1 minute. We will use all available runway on this. Offset just a hair. Alright, you ready? Chat, do not let me raise the landing gear. Spool them up 50. Yoga's in chat. Let's go flying. Hopefully. Man Toga SRS, auto thrust blue. Back to the center line here. 80 knots, thrust set. 100 knots, check. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. No gear up. Start the chrono. Nav. I put my hand over there, chat. I almost did it. Even with all the briefing, I put my hand there. All right, I'm gonna go MCT for a minute. We're gonna leave it at MCT. Oh, I never got the transponder. That's not bad. I'm leaving it in MCT. Help us out. Let's go autopilot 1. 15 seconds for the gear. Nice breakout there. S-speed, flap 0, standby on the after takeoff. There's 1 minute, gear up. Brake system 1 fault, that's associated. Clear brakes, clear brakes. Status, stop ECAM. Consider OEBs, QRH after takeoff checklist. Let's do an after takeoff checklist. Standby, I'm going to accelerate here. Departure, Bourbon 357. We're going to be a little bit tight at claw there for MEO. Bourbon 357, roger, do your best. Continue climb via 240. You're relieved at claw. Let's see, we might actually make it. Alright, electric, clear electric, status, stop ECAM. I think we're actually going to make it. Yeah, we are. There's 4,000. Thrust, climb, auto thrust. After takeoff checklist, please. Alright, gears up, flaps retracted, spoilers are disarmed, leads and packs are set. After takeoff, checklist complete. Continue ECAM status. That's associated. Clear status. Clear status. All right. We're cooking with gas now, chat. We are cooking with gas now. Look at that. That is scary looking, but amazing looking. I can't believe I mean, even with the MEL there, I almost touched the freaking gear lever. I'm going to have to be very careful if I get that one. Look at those clouds. That is real life, Fubar. Fubar, this is real life, Chad. Chad, this is real life. Look at that. Come on, look at the glow of the city through the clouds. Come on now. Come on, Chad. Smash the like button. Can we get 300 likes on this stream? Is it possible? This is my last stream for a week. For a week. Maximum amount of likes. Would you put a cup on the handle or something? Like I see in pictures? No, I'd put a... So I did it 2 years ago. I had this MEL. And I actually put a piece of paper. I took a piece of ACARS paper and I stuck it on the gear lever and I said no. I put a big no on it. So it was a little bit easier to remember. But even still, like, I'm just so used to the... You know, you just got to be careful. Just got to be careful. All right, here comes 10,000 feet. Lights are coming off. Forward call. Talk to the flight attendants. Let's do secondary. Well, secondary flight plan. Copy active. Progress page. LaGuardia. It's going in the box. All right. On 2 is Delta Ops is on 2. 21.5. Mark, my man, thank you for the $5 super chat. Relatively new to the channel, thanks for the great content. Hey, Mark, I'm glad you're enjoying the content, man. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat. Appreciate you. These streams typically aren't very chat intensive for me because there's so much I got going on. I'm trying to do some recurrent prep, as you've heard. But if you stick around long enough, I'm sure they'll get a little even better. Thank you, man. Appreciate the support. Why'd you take off with the APU on? Because we don't have a generator. I'm late to the stream. I'm guessing you're using the thunderstorm weather preset. No, Flight Sim guy. I actually just used, I just made it myself. I set clouds and overcast, and I made rain fall. Like, I just did it manually. I didn't use any presets. I don't know what I did, but it looks amazing. I might have to save it. Correct. Mackenzie, correct. That is correct. Alright, so in the sim, let's bring up our arrival. This is a quick flight. Things happen fast, so you want to be looking towards LaGuardia now. So LaGuardia approaches ILS runway 4, and the star is the HARP 4 arrival. So HARP 4 arrival, we're coming down off of basically Valerie, right? Yeah, Valerie is where we're starting it. HARP 4 will be on a vector. The approach is we'll take it out of whereas. We'll look at that here in a minute. We'll get this set up. Alright, we've got our charts ready. We'll continue up a little bit further here, and then we will start dealing with that. James, thank you for the $10 super chat. Finally got 2024 staple on my rig. Goat Sim indeed, James. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat, my man. Appreciate you. You know what? I wanted to make a PA about that as well. For anybody that has stability issues with 2024, if you have not done a clean reinstall, since like the first month of the sim releasing, you should definitely do it. I had some stability issues, as you remember, from the very beginning, and then somebody said it was the release day installs got so jacked up. If you haven't done a reinstall, you definitely should do a clean install. If you installed it on that release day and then never, had issues, highly recommend doing a clean install. I think that helped Captain Canada out as well. But glad to hear you got it stable, James. It is the GOAT sim. Captain, I've seen airlines use the extract override on the ground before takeoff. Is that something specific? Is it heavy rain? It definitely can't. It could be an MEL. It could be for heavy rain. That's really the only two reasons that you would do that. Yeah. Virtual Flight Dispatcher. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Virtual Flight Dispatcher. I appreciate the support. Thank you, man. You have the APU on due to a bad generator. Do you do the same if you have a loose pack? No, because you only have 2 packs on the airplane. It doesn't matter if the APU's on or not. You only have 2 pneumatic air cycle kits. You have 3 generators. So we always want to run 2 generators. Happy Saturday to you, classy traveler. Welcome on board, my friend. We're going to tell LaGuardia ground he's an idiot? Yeah. I'm not flying Delta today, but yeah, that was pretty wild. All right, out of 18 for 240. And we can expect, this is in the sim, we would get something like this. Bourbon 357, you can expect to hold at Nelly for traffic management. Let's take a look at the star. I'm trying to remember what fix they like to give us. Yeah, no, hold at Valerie as published. So, looking at this chart here, you get a hold at Valerie as published. Where's the as published, you may ask? There's no hold at Valerie. Where are we going to hold at Valerie? How do I know what the published hold is? Right here. So for us, we're going to be expected to hold at Valerie for traffic management. So we've got, we'll expect to hold at Valerie according to air traffic control. So I'm going to come in here, we're going to select Valerie, we're going to select hold, and we're going to do the computed, we'll see what she comes up with. And it's going to be inbound course 203. And we're doing right turns and 10-mile legs. All right, that looks good to you. We'll insert that. And we should get a hold at Valerie. We'll go to plan mode. And there she is. Hold at Valerie. Right there. Perfect. 1,000 to level off. Smooth ride, seatbelt signs are coming off. Alright. As we are flying to LaGuardia, they'd say, alright, even though you're holding at Valerie, I need you to maintain max forward speed. Alright, so 340 selected. Let's take a look at our perf. Next phase, next phase, next phase. Alright, going into LaGuardia, it's going to be the same, 29091. Temperature is going to be about 5. Winds are 270 at 15. The ILS 4. Minimums are 283. 283. In the minimum, that looks good. 139 is a VAP, 134 VLS. Got to be very careful here on the ILS 4. Autopilot coupled approach not authorized. This gets guys every year. I'd be lying to you if I said it didn't get me 1 year. So, autopilot coupled approach not authorized when we're flying this approach. The final approach fix inbound, Dennis. We will go ahead and disconnect the autopilot and hand fly the approach down to runway 4. So we'll do a quick little briefing here. We're set up to come down the Harp 4 arrival. Starting at Valerie. We'll comply with the holding instructions at Valerie. After that, base is expect at 8,000. Let's throw an expected altitude in there, 8,000 at base. Alright, base 8,000. After Harp, it takes us indirect to LaGuardia. Expect vectors. They won't let you get all the way to the VOR. So they give you a vector for the ILS-4, which we've already looked at. And I'm going to look at some landing data now. So my real-world charts say we can do it. But we'll look at the Fenix app here. We'll get our LS push buttons on. Both sides, we got 110.5 auto-tune, final approach course 045. It's actually 044, so it's off by 1 degree. Dennis at 1700. The DA is 283. It's in the glass. Touchdown zone is 21. Will be stable by 1,020. Highest sector altitude to the west side. West sector is 3,000 feet. We got Pappies on the right. Mauser lighting. That's what we're looking for. If we have to go mist, it'll be straight out 2,000. Intercept the radio to Greco and hold. Hold left turns Greco 223. That matches the plates in the box. Landing on LaGuardia runway 4. It's going to be a right-hand turnoff. Keep hearing a thumping sound. Runway 4, probably be a left-hand turnoff. Uniform Romeo double back. We're going to have to cross the hotspot 1 here. And we'll just take the first available gate from there. We have our LS on. Landing data has been sent. Auto brakes we can't use. We'll use manual braking. Reverse full. Flaps full. Any questions? No questions. All right, let's put the approach chart back on here. What in tarnation was that? I keep hearing knocking. Do you guys hear knocking? It's almost like the doors are... All our doors are closed and locked, right? Yeah, I guess it is. All right. So, I'm going to... Bourbon 357, you're cleared direct Valerie. Comply with the hold. Direct Valerie, hold is published. Bourbon 357. Alright. So now, divert to Albany, LaGuardia closed. Let's see what the Fenix will give us here for landing perf. We're going to have to use condition 5, runway 4. Apply the METAR. I'm actually going to put my own actual weather in there. 270. 270 at 15. Temperature 5. 29 decimal 9. 2991. Alright. Landing weight. We're 143.2. We're going to burn another 1,000 pounds. Not quite. So 142. Let's just put in 142, 142.0. All right. Manual braking, max reverse, flaps full. So, look at that. Let me check my... Let's see what mine said. That's pretty close. So my landing data said... a factored landing distance of 6160. This is 6286. And let's see, are the weights the same? I said 141. What if I do 141? 141. 1.15. 6270 versus my actual landing data says 6160. So that is almost 100 feet. Oh, we can't include reverse. Yeah. There we go. That bumps it up a little bit. Mine still says it's better with no reverse. It still says I can do 6160. It's still pretty dang close, though. It's a couple hundred feet off. Landing distance required 5650. Mine is 5357. And a margin of 842 feet. Looks like we have a little less than that for here. But that looks pretty dang cool. That checks out. All right, so landing data has been completed. Let's go back here. Let's get these charts out. Part 4, night charts. No reversal credit. Yep, we got that. Thank you. So I've got the real I mean, but that's pretty cool, though, that it's actually pretty close. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Hold on. Chad, I forgot something. I forgot something big. We don't have antis. We have auto brake. We don't have auto brake fault, but yeah, I can't get the. I swear we found the MEL the other day where it had like a list of different MELs. And it had like brake config 1. No, where was that? What did we do? One spoiler fault. I'm gonna have to watch my stream again. Yeah, no, we still can do it. So the real world landing data with the MEL says I have a 64 margin, 64 feet margin. Landing distance 6,033. Factored landing distance 6,938 feet. This one is 71. So it's right there. It's about 100 something feet. So it's still close. It's very close. The Fenix is slightly more conservative. This is runway condition 5, which is wet, or not dry, but a 64-foot margin. So we could technically do it. There's no room for air. So landing data has been completed. And we're going to Valerie. So now let's go ahead and it says Bourbon 357 descend and maintain 12,000. Descend and maintain 12,000. And resume normal speed. So down to 12,000 normal speed, headed towards Valerie. And we're going to get asked, all right, say how long are we going to be able to hold at Valerie now? So if I'm taking a look at our fuel, I'm going to put in. I gotta clear this out here because it does it a little bit weird. Let's just use the sim brief. Philly fuel. If I look at the PDF, alternate fuel to Philadelphia is 3.29. So 3.3. Alright, so 3.3. I've got 4 kids, so we're gonna bump that up 3.7. So alternate 3.7, that gives us 2.7 extra. That gives us 36 minutes to mess with before we leave, and we go, and it's going to have us landing at our final at 2.2. So 2.7 extra. So our bingo fuel number, get to Valerie, is 87, 7767, 6,000. We'll have to see when we get to Valerie, but I'm right now right about 6,000 pounds of fuel is our bingo. If we're not cleared inbound by 6,000 pounds of fuel, we're going to have to bug out to our alternate. So I'll recalculate that once we get over Valerie. That would be the most accurate way to do it. We could also slow right now, right? We could save fuel. So you say and approach for Bourbon 357. Do you mind if we start slowing now? Save fuel. So nope, speed or discretion. So we would slow all the way down to green dot plus a few knots probably, and really start conserving the fuel. Run the numbers again once we get to Valerie, because once you cross Valerie, you'll have your actual fuel on board. You can take away the fuel that you need to go to the alternate, shoot the approach, or excuse me, from Valerie to LaGuardia, shoot the approach, go from LaGuardia missed to Philly and land. Then you can get a more accurate bingo fuel number. We're on the descent. It's going to be chilly down there. Let's get the engine and ice warmed up as we get ready to go into the layer. Out of 18,000, seatbelt sign is coming on. We'll also send a message to dispatch saying, hey, yeah, we've got us estimating a hold at Valerie. Expect further clearances at 0130, so 10 minutes. And then dispatch would get back to us. So All right, Magic Barrel ref is set 2909R1, 18 is set, ignitions are on for the anti-ice, and here we go. Being serious for one moment, great example of what happens on a super crappy day in New York airspace. Bravo. Thanks, Virtual Flight Dispatcher. Did anyone hear about Delta 3158 from Atlanta to Richmond where the weather was so bad they had some injuries? No. I saw the one where they, where the 330, was a 330, they flew right through a thunderstorm and they had like 58 people in the hospital. Then another Delta guy telling the controller in LaGuardia he's an idiot. Through these doors are the best pilots on Earth. My son was on Delta 3158 and he said about 20 plus got hauled off. Crazy, man. Several of them had luggage at their head. Wow, just the bays opened up and started flying everywhere. Dougal says, Captain, is a 319 really as slippery in descent as is now in the BFU? I had everything hanging out, coming in Dublin today and still look for the anchor. Man, it depends. You know, it's typically not that slippery if you're on it because you get full boards and you can kind of ride that down. You get the speed brakes also with flaps 3, you know, instead of a 321 at flaps 3 you can't lay stow. So it just depends if you're super high. Now, there are some scenarios, Dougal, where, yeah, you're just going to have to throw the anchor out, right? The biggest speed brake you got is the gear. I'd have to know exactly how high you were and what the conditions were, but I haven't been high and fast in the 319 with BFU yet. I might have to take a look at it. I noticed that too. Your dual controller kept me high during the ILS, and even everything in hand, I had trouble capturing, keeping the speed limit they gave me. Sounds like you got to be on it. There are definitely scenarios where you will need to slow down, or you're just going to be too fast. Like there becomes a point where it becomes not possible to slow down. So right here, I'm going to hit cost index 0. That would be our best hold speed, right? Or that'd be our best econ speed right now until we get up to the hold. Virtual Flight Dispatcher, you're absolutely right. So we could do Newark. I need a burn to Newark because Newark is right across the way. So let's say the Virtual Flight Dispatcher got a great idea. It says, hey, you want to consider Newark for an alternate? It gives you a little bit extra hold gas. So we could do that. We go EWR, new alternate of Newark. All right, go back to our fuel. Let's say a dispatch came back and said, all right, you need 2.5 to get to Newark because it's right below you, right? All right, so then I'll add, you know, my 2.9, just my personal buffer. Now we're back up to, we got 44 minutes in the hold now. We just gave ourselves 10 minutes. You probably wouldn't even need that. It'd probably be more like, honestly, it'd probably be more like 1.9 because Newark is a sneeze from LaGuardia, right? So look, we basically just gave ourselves an hour in the hold. We get an amendment from dispatch saying, hey, we would need you know, all the new numbers and everything. He'd send that through, copy the amendment. Beautiful. All right, we're just going to enter the hold, then we're going to leave the hold and go into LaGuardia. How are we looking on time? 2:43. Been live for an hour 16. We're looking good. All right, Bourbon Ops, no ADC for you. All right, so hold speed here. Let's go ahead and set green dot plus 20. Probably be around the 220 mark. Speed out. Bourbon 357, descend and maintain 10,000. Down to 10,000, Bourbon 357. Is this a thing in real life to constantly play with cost index in flight? Yeah. Curious, what if dispatch gives you an ice slip or a New Haven, as they're all generally within the area and just far enough to have different weather and clothes for fuel? Yeah, Thomas Ray, absolutely. That would be a conversation you would have to have. Yeah. Absolutely. I've done it going into Miami. I've been holding. We had an alternate of Orlando. Or no, of Tampa. Maybe it was even Jax. It might have been Jax. And there was weather all over the place. But ironically, I was holding right over Fort Myers. And I could see Fort Myers. With all the weather that was going on in forecast, Fort Myers was in the clear. And I was like, hey, I'm comfortable changing our alternate to Fort Myers. And that bought us an extra 15 minutes. And that was enough so we didn't have to bug out. So yeah, it would be a discussion that you would have. Absolutely. Virtual flight dispatcher, amendment, change, alternate, IRIC, hold numbers, and weather sent to the printer. Thanks. So this thing would start printing off here, about 500 yards of paper. All right, set hold speed, green dot plus 20, because we're in a 320. So what is that? 209, 229. Hey, approach Bourbon 357. We need 229 in the hold. Bourbon 357 is pre-requested. Approach Bourbon 357. We're entering the hold over Valerie, time 0126 Zulu at 11 for 10,000. Bourbon 357, roger. All right, enter the hold. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, I just got some unfortunate news for you right now. We just entered the holding pattern here instructed by air traffic control just for some volume going into LaGuardia right now. And I don't expect it to be longer than about 10 minutes. Then we should be headed inbound. So I do apologize for this delay, but we should have been around here, like I said, about 10 minutes. Thank you for your patience. All right, cool. Everybody's been notified. Oh, Bourbon 357, I got great news. Continue that right turn. Heading 020. Descend and maintain 8,000. Maintain speed 250 knots. And we'll have vectors for the approach runway 04. Ah, fantastic. Thank you. Cool. Lights are coming on. So I'll leave that one off properly. That guy's always interrupting my movie. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, I just got some great news for you. I told them that I was a naval fighter pilot, and I have 227 naval landings on the USS Truman. Well, I don't even know if that's a carrier. What's the carrier wingnut? The USS Forrestal in Vietnam with Mr. Carey. So he said, well, since you're such a skilled aviator, we're going to go ahead and get you into LaGuardia right now. We'll tell everybody else to go around. I got that Spirit in front of you, but I'm telling him to go to Newark. So you'll be number one for the field. Roger. That's what he told us. So thanks for choosing the world's finest airline. All right, we'll continue the right turn. 060. Bourbon 357, cleared direct to base. Direct base, Bourbon 357. Base 8,000 out of 10. Perf. Activate, confirm. I just realized when we do simulates auto brightness, when it's daylight, it's bright at night, not so much. That is pretty cool, Al. What GPU? This is a AMD. I'm not even sure. Hit specs, man. I always forget the numbers. Exclamation spectacles. There you go. Everyone get the credit card out. Since we're in a hold, you're spending more time in the seat. Yeah, exactly. All right, we're going direct to base. We're at 8,000. 250. We're activated and confirmed. And let me just see. We've got Rahil. All right, Bourbon 357 cleared direct to Harp. Direct to Harp. Bourbon 357. Descend and maintain 7,000. I'm trying to get us somewhere cloud surfing. Fly USMC, my man, with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Says thanks for your hard work recreating these flights. Hey, Fly USMC, thanks for the $10 super chat, man. Appreciate you. Thank you all for hanging out and being such good sports on these recurrent streams. I know they may not be as fun as our traditional, go somewhere spicy and do something spicy, but they do help me out, so I appreciate y'all hanging out. You'd think with the modern tech dispatch would be able to send a flight amendment to your CPDLC, then you can shoot your M2 and click a new amend option and puts it in the box. Well, we wouldn't have to put it in the box per se, Thomas Ray. The amendment doesn't go in the box, but we do get that. We can uplink with our CPDLC. So we get a new route from air traffic control. They don't even say anything. You just get a message that says new route TMU, and then it's there, and then you can hit uplink to secondary. It loads into the secondary. And then you activate the secondary, and you got the whole reroute done for you. You don't have to do anything. So it works. All right, we're plus 2C, IMC, engine anti-ice is coming on. I think 7,000 has got us right on top. Look at that. Oscar Man, or Ocean Man, rather. These are literally my favorite streams. I've been making sure to watch your recurrent streams since you've done it on XPleat. Man, fantastic. Thank you, Ocean Man. Appreciate you. Turk says you're going to die laughing when you find out what I did at Cabela's. Oh, no. What do you do? Not get the Pro or something? Wait. Wait, what? How many messages did you guys send here? You bought the wrong Hellcat? Which one did you want to get? Did you get the Pro? I have the Pro. Which one did you get? I brought the wrong gun. Oh my goodness. Bourbon 357 because Turk's an idiot. Descend and maintain 5,000. Down to 5. Bourbon 357, turn right, heading 200. Correction, 210. Vector downwind, runway 4. 210, vector downwind 4. Oh, you wanted the full? No, Turk, don't be sad, dude. Don't be sad. The Hellcat Pro, dude. You want the Pro, dude. Because the Pro, you still get 17+1 with the special mag, right? You got the extra mag with it. Been with you since PPL. I'm currently on course for CPL. So nice to catch your streams when possible. Min Fam, I remember that name. I'm glad to have you on board. Thank you, man, for joining the channel, and joining the stream. Been a long time. PPL to CPL. That's awesome. No, the Pro is still smaller than the 19, right? The Pro is smaller than the 19. Oh my gosh, that's almost as bad. Hey, at least it didn't buy the wrong can, right? Under the guidance of Mr. Wingnut over there, I ended up buying the wrong suppressor. $1,300 mistake after tax stamp. Not only was it the wrong suppressor, it's literally a unicorn suppressor that works on nothing. Unless you buy another $500 of adapters. Oh my gosh. Alright, 220 on the heading. We'll set ourselves up for a downwind here. Actually, like about 225. Alright, let's go ahead and shoot the line. We're on vectors, so we'll do Rahil, inbound 225. Almost 226. Actually, let's fly heading 226 for my future 226 I'm going to buy here. Alright, Bourbon 357. What is Bang? Rahil is at 1,800 feet. Alright, cool. We're looking good. Alright, so everything's been done. Flight attendant's prepared for landing. We're activated, confirmed. We're set up for the ILS-4. Let's branch it out here about 2:30 though. I don't want to get too close and sequence the box. We've got a little bit of a crosswind there out of the west as well. Oh, that looks amazing. Tell the guy to get a suppressor runs the wrong suppressor one time. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. One time. Only takes one time, man. In my defense, I told him to buy an AEM4, and it should have been an AEM4. Yes, there's a different mod. That is true. That is true. Tossing it on a Mark 12. Well, Arbinson, guess what? It won't fit on a Mark 12. You have to buy a special collar for it. The Mark 12 I had, I didn't have. I ended up getting an AEM5 for the Mark 12, but it was a whole ordeal, man. It'll fit on a on a Cansoff. Just look up a Cansoff and tell me how popular they are. Oh man, this looks amazing though. That looks so real, chat. That is real life right there. Real life. Wait. Oh my gosh, dude, I was so... For months, for years, I've been wanting this particular setup. I finally get it home. I'm trying to mount it to the gun, and it's not fitting, so I text Wingnut. The text I got, chat, we're cooked, it doesn't fit. Thanks for the $5 super chat, man. Appreciate you. I think we're back to maybe half a tax stamp in super chats. Appreciate you. Are you going to Battlefield Vegas, Wingnut, tonight? Or are you flying out tonight? Well, look at that. That is so real. Look at the light on the bottom of the clouds. That is just so awesome. Do you have your sim settings in Discord? Andy Boyce, I don't know if I actually have my new sim setting for 2024. I'll tell you this, it's mostly on Ultra and High. Mostly what it is. Alright, we gotta get serious on this. Bourbon 357, descend and maintain 3000. Descend and maintain 3000. Bourbon 357. Flying home tonight, too hot to move. Sheltered in place at the hotel pool. Nice. The guy next to you rented a minigun for 1 second. I'd probably do that. What'd it cost? $500? My favorite round? What do you mean, like my favorite bullet round? I don't know, man. Like one that I have or one that I want to have. I would tell you this: the 338 is pretty fantastic, man. 338 Lapua Magnum is a pretty good round. But there's a couple others that are cool too. 8.6 Blackout, Matt. Yeah, that's cool. You guys are gonna, hey, this is Aviation Channel. You're gonna get this stream banned. 45 AARP, because they don't make a 46. Alright. We're going down to 3,000 feet. We're in the soup. We're gonna go ahead and start slowing up. 210. Come left, heading 220. 2 World Wars. Yeah, 357. Well, obviously, Pax-Man. Yeah, that's a great round, too. But I thought, like, that's why it's a trick question. Like, my favorite round, like, what do you mean? Like, the favorite to shoot, what I believe in, what guns are on. Like, there's too many, man. V1 Ballistics. Start a new channel, V1 Ballistics. I do watch Kentucky Ballistics. That guy's awesome. Alright. Stay focused, chat. Stay focused. You're trying to distract me on the check right here. 1,800 or above for Rahil. We can drop it down another 1,000. That'll put us in close. We're going to cut the corner tight, just like the instructor will do. Try to get you unstable. Flying my boss in his SR-22 and came within 75 feet of a student in a C-150? Really? That's scary, dude. Glad everybody's alright. Back to flying the RNAV visual. Oh no, why is it saying bitrate issues? Are you guys seeing the stream okay? I'm uploading 35. Hopefully it's fine. I'm gonna talk about Armageddon on the radar picture. Nah, it's fine. You gotta turn the gain down, dude. Here, look. Let's just turn the gain down a little bit. There you go. See? Real world scenario right there. If you don't like the color that the radar is, just turn the gain down a little bit. See? Much better. Just light rain. Urban 357, turn left, heading 190, vector 4, ILS 4. Alright, 190. We're going to slow it up, 180. Speed checks, flaps 1. What up? Just some guy named Chris. Actually, the Airbus, these radars, man, when you get in these, like, light rain, how do I say this? Small size raindrops, but a large density of them, the radars will come back all red. You know, so you do have to turn the gain down a little bit to kind of get a real picture of what's going on. I turn it down, like, on the new RDR 4000, I turn it about halfway between normal and all the way left. And put about a 45 degree, and that seems to be a more accurate representation. And if you start painting red when the gain is at that 45 mark, then yeah, you know it's legit. Oh, I know Al W. Demo map. Sad, man. But I'm happy for him, though. I'm sad and happy, though, you know. All right, flaps 2, speed checks. Radar auto and don't touch it. Well, didn't help those guys the other night. Might as well turn it off. All right, Bourbon 357. You are 3 miles from Raheel. Turn left, heading 110, maintain 2 tel established, cleared ILS, runway 4 approach. 2 tel established, 110 on the heading, cleared ILS 4 approach, Bourbon 357. That's not gonna be a great vector. Maybe. I know it's not within that 45 degrees, but we'll set ourselves up for failure. Status. Clear status on that one. Alright, clear for the approach. Jeez, Chad, arming up. Glide slope blue, loc blue, cat 3 dual autopilot 1+2, loc star. Smart glide slope capture. Looking wonderful. Oh, I forgot flight recorder. Glide slope star, go run up to, it's at 3,000 blue. Manage speed, gear down. Recording is on. Alright, we're turning Raheel inbound, speed checks, flaps 3. Autopilot's coming off. I have control. Speed checks, flaps full, landing checklist. Cabin crew advise auto thrust speed. Auto brakes are off. ECAM memo, landing all green. Landing checklist is complete. Well, recording is on, confirmed. Alright. Quartering tailwind here a little bit. Just what I want for our MEL. I hope we can stop. If we can't stop, it's a sim problem. Oh, I forgot to turn the light on.
1,000.
Tower Bourbon 357, clear land. I also ran anti-ice off. Well, it's still +5, so leave it on. Correcting.
500.
Approach lights, continue. Runway, landing. Big sinker there.
100 above. Minimum.
No floating on this one. Putting her down.
50, 40, 30, 20, retard.
Spoilers. Reverse crane. Decel. $70 knots. I can't slow down past. I've been working the brakes the whole time. Still got to keep going. We'll take it to the end. ATC loves that. All right, exit left taxi to the ramp. Only like 400 feet per minute? Nah, poppycock, man. It wasn't that hard and crazy. Volanta says 133. All right, we've got our associated ECAMs, clear electric, clear brakes, clear status. All right, after takeoff or after landing checklist complete. I tell you what, since we're going to do a V1 cut, we're not going to go to the gate and shut her down. Let's just watch the replay right now, and we got to do our V1 cut. So let's watch the replay.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Flaps out. Back up in there. Jeff Fabiano, what's up, buddy? How you doing? No one cares about feet per minute. Agreed, man. Beautiful job. BFU is a banger. Yeah, it is, Jeff. I'm loving it, man. I'm absolutely loving it. BFU on Citation 10. I'm addicted, man. I can't stop flying both. I actually flew, so I'm studying for my recurrent. So yesterday on my home PC, which is very rare that I fly on my home PC. Number one, I don't have a lot of time. Number two, I don't have a lot of stuff on it anymore. I did a nice Citation 10 flight, and as I'm cruising around and cruising above the Gulf, I was studying my recurrent training stuff. I'm just addicted to that Citation 10, man. Marco Island scenery? Gonna check it out, man. Oh, weather preset? Let me see if I can save that. Let's see how it looks like here as we touch down. Quartering tailwind, not ideal in this. Just arrest the descent. Oh, beautiful. What are you talking about, Alexander? Look at that. Right, a little left of center line, but considering we have our brake MEL, we got our reversers and spoilers. We have a 63-foot margin. I tell you what, I was on those brakes pretty consistently. Can I see brake pedal movement? No. I was on them pretty good. And we we kept rolling. Like, I had the reversers out to 70 knots. Let's watch one more. Let's do Fabiano replay cam. So we're going to do pause. We're going to go back to where we touched down. Right about here, right? I'm going to go drone cam. I'm going to go reset camera. I'm going to go follow mode off, lock mode on. Where are we going to set it? Let's set it, oh no. Lock mode off, move it around, right? I want it right here. We'll center it up. We'll lock mode. I think I messed it up. Look at the lights coming through the clouds. That's awesome. Always lock, then move. Dang it! Look at the lights. Sweet. All right. Let's go ahead and do our quick V1 cut. You guys want to see that? We got time. We're an hour 43. I think if we do a V1 cut, we should be done right at about 2 hours. Let's do it. Fubar, you're out of here, buddy. We'll take it easy, man. All right. First things first. Let's see if we can get the weather preset. How do I save it? Can I not save it? Do I need to stop the replay? Stop replay. Edit preset name. Recurrent weather, rain. I'll save it. Cool. That's been saved. Let's exit out of here. Let's do this. We'll end flight. End flight. And we got one thing to set up. We're going to load in on the runway. SeaTac. I'll tell you what. Let's keep the same weather conditions. 16 center, set departure, start flight. These are up, flaps 1, set. It'll just take me a minute or two to set it up, and then we got to go through the procedures. The flight recorder is what I'm using. Flight recorder. Dylan, I don't know why Nightbot. Oh, you put the .to on there. Yeah, that'll get you, man. That's to stop the Russian bots. Remember the Russian bot problem we had? Hit the like button if you remember the Russian bot problem we had. All right. Everything's booting up here. We'll keep the weather. Winds are going to be a crosswind. That's fine. Let's do this. We're going to do ground. I'm going to set a weight on full passengers. Oh, hold on. I need to do this. See how it doesn't save? Yeah. Units, meters, ding, ding, ding. All right. Full there, fuel, it should be right about 144. That's fine. That checks. Apply, unload aircraft, instant, dismiss, send that to the McDo. Quick flight plan. Seattle. Seattle. This is where I like the TOLUS. Have it already saved, you know. Alright, departures 16 center, hair up 6, EPOT, that's fine. Come right back around, round robin, 16 center, no star, insert, secondary, initialize, Seattle, Seattle, secondary, secondary, and departure 16 center, and then we're going to do the Seattle radial 161. We'll draw it out to 25 miles. PBD 01. Come back around. Arrival 16 center. Perf 123. We'll load it all in here. 29901. We'll hand fly the single engine as well. Temperature is 5. Actually, I tell you what, since we, yeah, screw it. Let's run it with engine and ICE on. Why not? And winds are 270 at 15. The Seattle ILS, we're just doing one approach. Jeff, no, I'm not running any real turb or anything, man. It's all default. All default. All right, 630 is the barrow min. 630 in the secondary. All right, cool. Perf init B. We'll put Seattle in there. I guess it'd be fuel page. Perf takeoff speeds. Alright, we're going to send these to the McDo as is. Beautiful. I'm just going to put up the chart here. ILS 16 center. Alright. Ah, my gosh. That's one thing I don't like about Fenix. One thing I don't like is how you hide that little sidebar. Very challenging. All right. Last thing we need to do is actually get the failure programmed. Power plant. Engine failure. Engine failure with damage. We'll arm that at V1 is 127. Ooh. 27. Apply. All right. Constraint mode on. 10,000 is set. Auto brakes max. Takeoff config checked. Terrain on ND for me. Let's get rid of the company message because it's going to drive me nuts. All right. Ready? Let's do this. We'll leave the full 320 cam up so you can see the whole process. Suburban 357 RNAV Otley 16 center, cleared for takeoff. RNAV Otley 16 center, cleared for takeoff. Urban 357. Here we go. Takeoff. Manflex SRS auto thrust blue. Yeah, we're doing a V1 cut right now. Last one. $80 knots, thrust set. Bumpy Seattle runway here. 100 knots, check. V1. Engine failure. Rotate. Going Toga. Positive rate. Gear up. Should not have. I should have cleared the bumps. 400 feet. ECAM actions. Just trimmed out. Seattle Center, tower. We're going to go
500.
Straight out. Heading. Secondary. Activate secondary. Manage nav. Tower, Suburban 357 proceeding outbound 161 radial. We have an engine failure, declaring emergency. Need to return back to Seattle. Cool. I'm not going to do ATC because we're going to focus on this. Engine 1 fail. Alright, Suburban 357, roger. Proceed as requested. Let us know when you need a turn. Engine mode selector ignition. Confirm engine mode selector ignition. Thrust lever 1 idle. Confirm thrust lever 1 idle. Confirmed. 1300. Vertical speed 0. Engine 1 master off. Confirm. Engine 1 master. Confirm. Off. Engine 1 shutdown. Imbalance monitor. Should have cleared the caution too, that's on me. Alright, monitor the imbalance or fuel leak. TCAS mode select TA. If damage, we're going to consider it damaged.
Terrain ahead.
Stop ECAM.
Terrain ahead. Pull
S
up.
speed, flap 0.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Continue
Terrain
ECAM.
ahead.
3 to 5
Pull
prior to
up.
green dot.
Terrain
pull for
ahead.
open.
Pull up.
I'm not quite sure why that's
Terrain
going off
ahead.
right now.
Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
I don't get that in the sim, so I'm not quite
Terrain
sure why that's
ahead.
going off right
Pull
now.
up.
Maybe because it took so long to
Terrain
climb.
ahead. Pull up.
Alright, we'll continue. Lever MCT. And Tower Bourbon 357. We can take that right turn now. Bourbon 357, turn right, heading 230. Climb and maintain through 4,000. 4,000, right turn, heading 230, Bourbon 357. Alright, if damage, engine 1 fire, push button, push. Okay, confirm engine 1 fire, push button, confirm. Push. After 3, 2, 1 second, agent 1 discharge. Confirm agent 1 discharge. Confirm. Discharge. Engine 1 relight, consider. No, we're not going to relight that. Bourbon 357, continue right turn, heading 320. 320, 1,000 to go. Clear engine 1, clear engine 1. If no damage does not apply, clear engine 1. Clear engine 1. In-op systems. We have a land ASAP message. We declare an emergency. Return to the field. Air bleed. Electric hydraulic. I don't know why TCAS was in standby the whole time. That's on me. Bleed. We got 1 bleed system working. Clear bleed. Electric. We got 1 generator powering both. Let's go ahead and get the APU fired up then. Let's get the APU fired up. Clear electric. Hydraulic. PTU's picked up the load for the green system. Clear hydraulic. Status. Stop ECAM. Let's go ahead and perform any OEBs, resets, or after takeoff checklist. We'll do the after takeoff checklist right now. After takeoff. Gears up, flaps up. We're looking good. After takeoff checklist is complete. Bourbon 357, turn right, heading 340. Expect radar vectors, ILS 16 center. Alright, so I'm going to stop, as the ECAM is stopped here, I'm going to go ahead and pull my speed. We'll activate, confirm. Got our secondary flight plan in here. We're going to go ahead and clean up the box. We're going to bring it off of Anvil 345, insert, pull heading, get our LS push buttons back on. LS push buttons back on. Alright, we got 111.7 auto tune, 165 final approach course. Minimum is 630, that is set. Sector altitude is the highest at 6,400 out to the east, that's fine. If we have to go missed, since we're single engine, we'll request alternate missed approach instructions, such as radar vectors. It'll be 2,000 foot level off. Alright, that sounds good. Will be a left-hand turnoff off the runway if we elect to taxi off. If not, we'll just get towed in, depending on what the Crash Find Rescue says. Cool. Tower notify company that we're inbound. We're going to call the flight attendants now, so we'll go ahead and do this. Hi, it's Cheryl. Or no, hi, it's Wingnut. Yeah, hey, you probably heard that big bang on departure there. We lost an engine. We've got it shut down. We're returning back to Seattle. I don't have any special instructions for you. I don't anticipate using the brace command, but we should be on the ground here in less than 5 minutes. We'll talk to you after landing. All right, thank you. We'll have the cabin secure. Sounds good. All right, beautiful. They've been notified. Company's notified. We're headed back. You've been briefed. I've been briefed. Continue ECAM. Avoid icing conditions. If severe ice secretion, we are technically in icing conditions. You want to protect the good engine? Let's protect it with engine 2 anti-ice. but we are not accumulating ice, so that does not apply. Landing distance procedure does not apply. If no engine 1 damage, consider relight. That does not apply. In-op systems, wing anti-ice, Cat 3 dual, engine 1 bleed, pack 1, gen 1, green engine 1 pump. Clear status, clear status. All right, that's complete. Bourbon 357, descend and maintain 3,000. Down to 3,000. Engine anti-ice detected. Woohoo, anti-ice, ice detected. Engine 1 anti-ice on. Well, we can't turn it on, so let's go ahead and clear anti-ice. Clear anti-ice. Great. We need to get out of these icing conditions immediately. Bourbon 357, continue descent now 2,000 feet. And are you ready for the approach? Affirmative, ready for the approach. Bourbon 357, roger. Gonna tighten you up here, make that turn, right turn 355, descend 2,000, vectors 16 center. We're gonna leave the flaps up right now. Alright, time permitting, we would go to the comm right now and run the additional procedure. I will tell you from experience, the thing that the comm is going to tell you is if it's engine 1, you're not allowed to use the APU bleed. If engine 2 had failed and we discharged the bottle, what we could do is turn on the APU bleed. We could relieve the bleed demand off the engine, but because because engine 2 is operating and engine 1, we blew the bottle, we cannot use the APU bleed. The only way it would work is if it was reversed and we closed the crossfeed valve. So we're kind of stuck with what we got. So we need to get out of the icing condition ASAP. We're going down to 2,000 feet. We're going to try to make a super tight turn here. Soto's at 1,900, so we're going to try to cut this corner here pretty close. Bourbon 357, turn right 030. 030, Bourbon 357. I'll get the flight recorder up as well. Did I close it? I did. What the heck? Go ahead and start the recording now. Bourbon 357, continue that right turn all the way around. Make it 130, maintain 2 tail established, cleared ILS 16 center approach. 130 on the heading, 2 tail established, cleared ILS 16 center approach, Bourbon 357. Alright, we're cleared approach. We're turning all the way around. We got the Lodestar. Early, super terrible vector there, but that's alright. Let's go ahead and extend flaps 1. Speed checks, flaps 1. Watch that big burst of power there. I'm going to come back 180 now. Alright, with the flaps we get the status, clear status, clear status. Glide slope start, missed approach altitude 2,000 is set. Manage speed, gear down. No terrain considerations. So we're going to go ahead and land with flaps full. Glide slope low. Alright, hand flowing, single engine approach. Here we go. Autopilot's coming off. That big burst of power kind of hosed us. Let's also select auto brakes medium. VFE next -10, flaps 3. Good news is with one engine you typically don't have a problem slowing down. Alright, flaps full, landing checklist, cabin crew advised, auto thrust is speed, auto brakes medium, ECAM memo, landing all green. Keeping that rudder in there. A little bit low, correcting. Gosh, the turbulence is pretty gnarly right now. I'm going to give me 3 knots.
500.
What? Not allowed? Not allowed? Why wouldn't it be allowed?
100 above.
Oh, chat, we need to see something here. Oh, are we in a wind shear? Approach lights, continue. Okay, that was a little dramatic there. Oh no, chat.
100.
Sink rate. Glide slope.
40. 30. 20. Retard.
All right. That was a little bit not good there with the friggin' wind, but we're down. We got her stabilized. Had a huge like wind shear there coming across the hill. That's all right. 70 knots. Idle reverse down to aircraft stop. Of course, that didn't look pretty. Hey, it looked probably like that's probably like how y'all's average landings look. Flight attendant stations. All right, we're down. Take a breath. Let's stow the reverser. All right, Fire Chief, hey. Captain's Fire Chief, Fire Marshal down there. We see your number 2's got a big hole in it. You're leaking some fluids, but no fire hazard at all. What do you want to do? Why don't you follow us to the gate, and we'll have it shut down there. Copy that. Sounds good. All right. Remain seated, remain seated, remain seated. And will follow us to the gate. All right. Let's go ahead and see what it looked like, and we're done. We are done. How fast was that? That was pretty quick. That was pretty quick. Let's see what the landing looked like. That weather scenario is not optimal. It's not optimal for this approach. Gotta replace the FOC cover. We hit some like crazy shear there. I think it's like the winds and hills, and right now it's like trippy. So in the sim, they have it all the way down to minimum, so like you only see approach lights. So that part was pretty accurate, where you'll only see the approach lights. And then you continue, but you want to stay inside. And then we had like that big shift. Look at the wind. Like went to a tailwind to the left. Started blowing us off course. It's all right. We still got it over the pavement. Oh, hey, that's still pretty nice. That looks like wingnuts landing on a good day right there. We got it down. We got it down. All right. That's it, chat. That's all she wrote. It's time for recurrent. Let's go flying. I'm going to end it there. I'll give you one more replay to watch, I guess. I didn't save the LaGuardia one, so I'll just go ahead and wind it all the way back. You can look out the window, and I'm signing off. So I won't see y'all for about a week. All right, it's going to be a little while. But until then, enjoy your simming. Keep posting those pictures in the Discord, and I'm sure Wingnut will go live at some point. Oscar, he might. I don't know. He barely streams. We'll see. I'll send some pictures and vids if I can of the sim to my members in the Discord. But until then, you all have been an awesome audience. Thank you for hanging around with me. Enjoy this quite wobbly approach into Seattle 1-6 Center with one engine. But we got her down and safe. That's all that matters. So until you next one, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya.